You're watching another Rider Nation Station presentation brought to you by TSC and these following fine sponsors. Now let's join Joe Hurlburt and Jim Swigert as they call tonight's game.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to Rough Rider Football on your Rider Nation station. I'm Joe Hurlburt. I'll be bringing you all of tonight's play-by-play action. Sitting alongside me is Jim Swigert. He'll be bringing you all the color commentary. Well, when you look out across the field, it's pretty overcast and the rain has started to fall. About 3 minutes ago, she started to come down. And I guess, Jim, to start this program, I guess one of the things that I want to ask, because we saw it about 3 weeks ago up at the Ottawa game, let's talk about the rain and lightning. When is a game delayed because of lightning?
Okay, so when you have thunder or lightning, lightning accompanied with thunder, it is an automatic 30-minute delay. And if you go into that 30-minute delay and 5 minutes later you have lightning and thunder, it's an additional 30 minutes. So after every strike, a lightning strike or thunder, it is 30 minutes.
All right, so hopefully that will not be the case. Rain is not an obstacle. The wind is not an obstacle, but lightning will be the obstacle. So hopefully the lightning will stay away. Well, the St. Mary's Rough Riders tonight host the Shawnee Indians. The Shawnee Indians come in with a record of 3-1 overall. They're 2-1 in the Western Buckeye League. St. Mary's comes in 2-2 overall, 1-2 in the Western Buckeye League. And Jim, let's take a quick look, if we will, at the Shawnee offense. As a team, they come in averaging 27.5 points per game. That ranks them third in the Western Buckeye League. They are averaging 223 yards per game. That's fourth in the Western Buckeye League. They pass for 167 yards a game. That also ranks them fourth in the Western Buckeye League. In total offense, they're averaging 390 yards a game. That's second in the Western Buckeye League. Obviously, St. Mary's defense has got to play well tonight in all facets, the run and against the pass.
Yes, it'll be another a good matchup for St. Mary's defense as far as trying to keep the Shawnee offense as they come out. They'll try to be balanced, but they're going to probably lean heavily on their running game, especially with the weather that we're having. So we'll see a heavy dose of their two big backs, that both of them, Will Robertson and Peyton Wilson, carrying much of the load for the Shawnee rushing attack. Both of them are in the top 5 in rushing in the WBL.
Well, of course, their quarterback, John Baker, is an outstanding athlete. He did not play football until this year. What did he do the prior 3 years of his high school career? He played golf. So obviously he is an outstanding athlete. Coach Jerry Cooper in his second year has a lot of confidence in the 5'11 senior who comes in completing 41 of 69 passes for 653 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 5 INTs. And he's ranked fourth as an overall quarterback in the Western Buckeye League. So Shawnee always has a lot of talent when they bring their football program to the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Fry touched on that this week, the athleticism traditionally from Shawnee in all their sports. But hats off to this quarterback, John Barker. Hadn't played football since the 8th grade. Comes out his senior year to join their varsity football team.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the St. Mary's Rough Riders right after this.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Well, we welcome you back once again to Grand Lake Health System Field at the Rough Rider Athletic Complex. Well, the St. Mary's Memorial All Brass Marching Band has just completed playing the alma mater. They'll line up now in formation for the national anthem. Before they do that, we have a little bit of time. Let's talk a little bit about the Rough Riders. St. Mary's comes in offensively, averaging 22.3 points per ball game. They're ranked 5th in the Western Buckeye League. Also, they're averaging 225 yards per game rushing the football. That's 3rd in the Western Buckeye League. They're averaging about just 48 yards passing the football a game. That's ranked next to last. That's 9th in the Western Buckeye League. But again, when you have strong rushing, you don't really have to rely a lot on your passing game. You just really rely on your passing game to keep your defense honest. That's pretty much it. And then they're averaging about 273 yards per game total offense, which ranks them 7th in the Western Buckeye League. So St. Mary's is right in the middle of the pack. They're not in the top 3 of the league, but they're not in the bottom. They're right in the middle of the pack. And when I talked to Coach Fry earlier this week, he said right now they're an average football team, and they want to get better.
Yeah, and as Coach Fry explained to us, it all starts in the trenches and trying to find some more consistency. I think the Riders found some in that second half last week where they came out and put an exclamation point on the mental toughness and being physical, and they look forward to doing that again tonight.
On the defensive side of the football, the defense is giving up 21.3 points a game. That's 6th in the Western Buckeye League. The rushing defense are giving up 161 yards per game. That's 9th in the Western Buckeye League. I'm sure Coach Fry would like to shore that up just a little bit more. Passing defense, they're giving up 133 yards per game. That's 6th in the league. And their total defense, they're giving up 294 yards per game. That's 7th in the Western Buckeye League. And this defense really, Jim, has been anchored by their senior defensive lineman, Blake Knorr.
Yeah, what a tremendous player. Hustles every single play, does whatever the coach is wanting to do, whether it's playing in as linebacker or putting his hand on the ground, playing that defensive end position.
Well, right now, the color guard is going to make their way to the south end of the stadium. Then we'll have the playing of our national anthem. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back right after this. Guarneri's on Spring Street, home of the signature Big Ralph Sub, Pizza, and Calzone. Come try our thirst-quenching Rider-Aid before, during, and after the game. Post-game live music every Friday night. It's Guarneri's. Give them a call, 419-394-2244. Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily. Open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock. Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, your job is made easy with Scott Ross Realty. Contact one of their hardworking, well-trained agents today at 419-305-4373 for all of your home buying and selling needs. Scott Ross Realty, wishing all Rough Rider sports good luck.
All righty, we welcome you back once again to Grand Lake Health System Field. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert. We're moments away from the kickoff of this game between the St. Mary's Rough Riders and the Shawnee Indians. And here to take a look at the starting lineups for the St. Mary's Rough Riders, once again, my friend, Jim Swigert.
Okay, for the St. Mary's Rough Rider offense, at left tackle, number 76, the junior Gavin Ward. Left guard, number 52, a sophomore, Stash Patterson. At center, number 62, a senior, Riley Swigert. At right guard, number 56, a senior, Logan Allen. At right tackle, number 65, a junior, Morgan Sewer. At tight end, number 7, senior, Blake Knorr. At split end, number 9, a sophomore, Gavin Reinecke. At halfback, number 6, a junior, Ethan Wedding. Fullback, number 29, a junior, Hunter Fraley. Halfback, number 12, senior, Ty Howe. The quarterback, number 2, senior, Kurt Buck. And for the Rough Rider defense, one defensive end, number 13, a junior, Wyland McCollum. At defensive tackle, number 77, a junior, Hunter Foltz. The other defensive tackle, number 59, a junior, Trace Mabry. A defensive end, number 10, senior, Trey Fisher. A one linebacker, number 4, a senior, Lucas Walter. Linebacker, number 97, a senior, Blake Knorr. Linebacker, number 43, a junior, Brandon Paul. Linebacker, number 7, junior, Dylan Troglin. At one cornerback, number 8, a senior, Carson Fishbach. Cornerback, number 35, sophomore, Tanner Howe. And at safety, number 12, senior, Ty Howe.
Well, the St. Mary's Rough Riders will kick off to start this ball game, and this kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend. Insure your life. Kicking the football off for the Rough Riders is Brandon Bowers. Back to receive the kickoff for the Shawnee Indians is Jacob Voorhees. And I can't see who the other player is on the far side of the field, but I'll tell you what, looking at Voorhees, this kid does a lot of stuff for this Shawnee Indians ball club. So he's pretty much in every offensive statistic that we've seen so far. Here's the kick by Bowers. It's a low kick. It'll take a bounce on about the 22, and it's picked up by that unknown player, number 20. That is Carter Fay. Excuse me, that's number 25. Peyton Wilson. Well, we'll get them all figured out here before it's all said and done. Well, the Shawnee Indians will set up shop for first time, 1st and 10. The ball will be at their own 30-yard line. Just underway here at Grand Lake Health System Field. Baker, your quarterback, calls the signals, drops straight back. Quick pass out to number 8.
Flag on the play.
So Shawnee comes out throwing out to the left side.
Number 9. Jacob Voorhees. Penalty seems to be against the Rough Riders.
Yeah, Joe, looks like a 15-yard face mask penalty.
So the Shawnee Indians with the penalty will now have the football on the St. Mary's 49-yard line. 1st and 10. 11:45 remaining here in the first quarter on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Baker under center. Barker sends Voorhees in motion. Wide right run across the 45-yard line. He's tackled there by a host of Rough Riders. We'll give him a gain of about 5 yards on the play. Jacob Voorhees, the ball carrier.
Yep, there's Voorhees again, quite the athlete. Taking that ball off the right side on the jet sweep. Picking up about 4 yards.
We'll call it 2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4 by Voorhees. John Barker, the quarterback, under center for Shawnee. We got 2 people in motion. That can't be, can it?
29.
There's the flags. I was going to say they both started off at the same time. Voorhees started, and I believe the tight end, Matthew Bean, moved at the same time. You cannot have 2 players in motion. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. If he would have got set,
There's
it
the
would have
replay
been,
there.
Yes,
It was Ryan Hefner, the wingback, who went in motion as well with Voorhees.
yeah, when the 2 men were in motion there, if the halfback or the guy in motion would have stopped and got set for 1 second, they both would have been set. That's going to move them back.
All righty, we're waiting for the officials to mark it off. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll put the ball back, the nose of the football just on the 50-yard line.
Put the penalty back at the
Second down and 11 for the Shawnee Indians. We still got a little bit of confusion of what's taking place on the field.
Yeah, Joe, I think they're having some troubles with the 40-second play clock.
Well, the head of referees coming over to talk to the St. Mary's coaches on their sideline. Oh, the play clock. I think that's the discussion. If one play clock on the field is not working, then they have to shut them both off. And then the time will be kept on the field by the officials. So the referee is going to go over and talk to Jerry Cooper and his staff and tell them exactly what's going to happen. Parker, your quarterback, in the shotgun position. He'll roll to his left, passes quickly out to number 29. That's Peyton Wilson. Good stop there by Dylan Troglin.
Yes, that was an excellent play by Troglin. He was open, and then he closed that gap in a hurry after he caught the ball.
Nice play by Troglin, you see on the replay. Closes extremely quick. Third down and 8 for the Shawnee Indians. Barker, your quarterback, goes under center this time. Will Robertson, the lone setback, will put Wilson in motion. Goes back, he's looking down the field, and he misses it as intended to receiver, Jacob Voorhees. So it'll be fourth down, and the Shawnee Indians will be forced to punt the football. Back to receive for St. Mary's will be Ty Howell and Dylan Troglin.
So the Rough Rider defense stiffen up at midfield.
Troglin and Howe back for the punt return.
John Barker will do the punting for the Shawnee Indians. Fair catch called by Howell at the Rough Rider 14-yard line. So the Rough Riders will set up shop, first and 10 at their own 14-yard line. 10-14 remaining here in the first quarter on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. No score. First possession for the Rough Riders. Kurt Bupp will be your quarterback. Riley Swigert will be your center. Bupp under center. Give the ball to number 3. That's Aiden Hinkle, a freshman for the Rough Riders, starting at fullback. Good job blocking for the offensive line on the left side. Give Hinkle a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. Rough Riders break huddle. Bupp under center. Straight dive. Ethan Wedding, the ball carrier. It'll be close to a first down.
Yep, the Riders coming out, running right up the gut here. A couple dive plays. They got a 3rd and 1.
Third down and 1 for St. Mary's. Rain continues to fall here at Grand Lake Health System Field. Kurt Bupp with the quarterback keeper. He reaches out. He'll get the first down. So the Rough Riders get a fresh set of downs. And they'll be first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
It's always nice to get that first down, or the first down of the game on their opening drive here. See if this will get some momentum to the Riders.
Jim, one thing with artificial service here at the stadium, the rain really will be pretty much not effective.
That's right, Joe.
Aiden Hinkle, the ball carrier for the Rough Riders, will give him a gain of 6 yards. We'll call it second down and 4.
Well, the coaching staff's got confidence in the young freshman fullback.
Well, I'll tell you what, you don't see this much in Rough Rider football, is a freshman playing. Hinkle again, and he's going to pick up the first down or get pretty close to it.
Great job by the offensive line, Joe. As they're getting a push up front there, and they're just riding them right now. The old-fashioned 4 yards in a cloud of dust. Great thing about 4 yards in a cloud of dust, it equals first downs.
Absolutely. Good job by Hinkle again on the carry. Picks up the first down. Just a hard-nosed runner in the first few carries we've seen him run. Hinkle and Wedding behind Bupp. Wedding with the football to the 40. And he is stopped and run out of bounds by Matthew Sargent and Howie Perkins for the Shawnee Indians. It's a gain of 6. We'll call it second down and 4 for the Rough Riders. 7:48 remaining here in the first quarter on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Ethan Freewald into the ball game for St. Mary's. Hinkle, left side dive, breaks a tackle, and lunges forward to about the 45-yard line. We'll give him a gain of about 3. We'll call it third down and 1 for the Rough Riders.
So once again, the Riders come up, the third down and 1 situation.
Tell you, give a lot of credit to this offensive line. Ward, Patterson, Swigert at center, Allen, Seaver, and Knorr. Handoff to Wedding.
Big hole there on the left side, or excuse me, the right side of that offensive line, paving the way for.
Well, let's check that. That was Aiden Hinkle on the carry. There you see him on the replay. Good job. Just hard-nosed running. Picks up good yardage. And another first down for the Rough Riders as they are now in Shawnee territory. It'll be first down and 10 for St. Mary's. The ball is at the Shawnee 44-yard line. Ty Howe sweeping left side with the football. He's got some room. He cuts back across the field. And he is brought down by a host of Shawnee Indians, but give him a gain of about 6 on the play. There you see Ty with the football running left behind his blockers, and he cuts back. And
once again, Ty Howe showing good vision, seeing that opening back in the middle. Is that outside on that sweep play. Close quickly. Make no mistake about the Riders' game plan. They were going to smash it right up the middle and run a few sweeps here on this first drive, Joe.
Absolutely. Zach Hessen checks into the ball game for St. Mary's, and on the carry is Hinkle. He's going to pick up a first down, so good job by this freshman. Right up the middle. Good blocking up front and just hard-nosed running by the young freshman. Boy, he's getting his touches here in the first quarter.
7 carries on this opening drive for the freshman. Freshman Aiden Hinkle.
Ethan Freewalt checks back in with the play from head coach Doug Fry. Bupp under center. He's going to give the ball to Wedding. Wedding sweeps right. He's crossed the 30-yard line and run out of bounds. And, of course, here's one of those things that we talked about. When you stop the clock and when you keep the clock running, even though he's run out of bounds, his forward momentum stopped. He was pushed out of bounds sideways, so therefore the clock will continue to run even though he was out of bounds.
Yep, absolutely. That's the rule, and the official administrated that rule perfectly on that.
Second down and 8 for the Rough Riders. The ball just resting at the Shawnee 31-yard line. Up the middle is Hinkle. Give him a gain of a couple. It'll be third down and 5 for St. Mary's. Ball resting at the Shawnee. There's Lightning. This is going to stop this one. That was a bolt with thunder. So the officials immediately on the field with 4 minutes and 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. No score on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. The two teams are headed to their locker rooms. We're going to take a break and see where we're headed, and we'll come back with more right after this. St. Mary's Foundry is a global leader in manufacturing complex iron castings. Our skilled workforce takes pride in producing the highest quality iron castings, weighing up to 60,000 pounds. St. Mary's Foundry wants to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all our local teams, wishing them a safe and extraordinary season. And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
Auglaze Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglazeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaze Equipment Rental.
Friday, we welcome you back once again to Grand Lake Health System Field. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert, and we welcome you all back from the rain delay. Let's set the stage. 4 minutes and 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. 0-0 is the score. St. Mary's will have the football, 3rd down and 5 at the Shawnee 28-yard line. Kurt Bupp under center. We're back to action. And he'll keep it. Looked like a broken play, so Kurt Bupp has it. He'll cross the 25 and it'll be run out of bounds at the Shawnee 22-yard line. Looked like a broken play in the backfield. Aiden Hinkle's in the backfield along with Ty Howell. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed by the young freshman, Aiden Hinkle. He's carried the ball 8 times for over 30 yards here in the first quarter.
So another 3rd down conversion for the Riders on this, their opening drive, which started back at the 15-yard line, at their own 15.
Riders have the ball, 1st and 10. Hinkle.
There goes Hinkle.
Inside the 10. Good run by Aiden Hinkle. Another Rough Rider first down. Rough Riders will have the football, 1st and goal at the Shawnee 7-yard line. 4:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Hinkle with the carry down inside the 5 will mark the ball at the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
So once again, the Riders are going straight up the gut, getting good push up there from the offensive line.
Absolutely. Riley Swigert brings the Rough Rider offense out. Full house backfield. Bupp, quarterback sneak. He'll get a couple down to the 1-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and goal from the Shawnee 1-yard line.
Wouldn't be surprised to see, or would be surprised to see anything other than
Hinkle or Bupp.
Been working.
Here's Hinkle, left side, dives in, touchdown Riders. The freshman, Aiden Hinkle, gets his first touchdown of his young career as a St. Mary's Rough Rider. And the Rough Riders draw first blood on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. 6-0 is our score. Henry Spencer will be on to do the point after. Kurt Bupp will hold. Riley Swigert will snap the football. There's a snap. Kick is up. Kick is good. So with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the first quarter, on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 7, the Shawnee Indians nothing. We'll be back right after this.
TSC is an independent telephone company that has been serving Walpole, Connecticut, Cridersville, and surrounding areas with phone service since 1895. In 2003, we made history by expanding all of our offerings into the city of St. Mary's. We are dedicated to bringing our customers state-of-the-art technology and services with a hometown flair for individual customer care. Active members of local organizations such as the St. Mary's Area Chamber of Commerce, TSC stands by the communities it serves. We encourage you to stop in and see us at 155 East High Street in St. Mary's and check out the products and services TSC can provide.
This kickoff is brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend. Insure your life. Brewer with the kickoff, not a particularly good one, gets a Rough Rider bounce. It's taken inside the 10-yard line by Shawnee. He'll break a tackle, and the ball carrier will get the ball out to about the 21-yard line.
Well, Joe, just a great response coming out of that lightning delay. The Riders finishing off that opening drive, beginning back at the 15, their own 15, taking off a bunch of time off the clock. Impressed with the young freshman, number 3, fullback, carrying the ball 10 times for unofficially 62 yards.
Absolutely. John Barker brings the Shawnee Indians out to the line of scrimmage. He'll give it off to Will Robinson. Robinson gets the ball to the 25-yard line. It'll bring up second down, and we'll call it 6. 2:46 remaining here in the first quarter. St. Mary's leads 7-0 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Barker looking over to his head coach and brings back in the play. John Barker, your quarterback. He goes under center. Calls the signals, drops back, passes out. Ball is batted away. Pass intended for Jacob Voorhees. Carson Fishbach in on the play.
Great closing there on that route by number 8, Fishbach. Coming in, tipping that pass away.
3rd down and 5 for the Shawnee Indians. Clock is stopped with the incomplete pass. 7-0 Riders on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Barker under center. Calls the signals, sends a man in motion. He'll turn, he'll roll to his left. He's got pressure. He kind of flips it out to number 29, Peyton Wilson, and they'll pick up the first down. So it was kind of, I think it was by design, in all honesty.
Well, the Riders were getting great pressure on the quarterback as he rolled out to his left. Trey Fisher was there, flushed him out, and reminded me of the old Bernie Kosar days when he was in trouble. He just heaved it, and that's
well, he was always in trouble.
Yeah, he didn't have much foot speed, did he?
1st down and 10 for the Shawnee Indians. Ball setting on the, we'll call it the 33-yard line of the Shawnee Indians. Barker under center, calls, drops back. Pass down the field is incomplete. Pass was intended to Matthew Sargent. It'll fall incomplete.
Once again, the Riders forcing a 2nd and long, 2nd and 10.
Jacob Voorhees, the split end for Shawnee, will go wide right. Barker under center. Robinson, the lone setback. Barker will roll right. He's got pressure by Walter. Pass thrown and intended for Voorhees, thrown out of bounds. And it'll fall incomplete. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Shawnee Indians. Once again, we want to remind you to listen in that between the first and second quarter, we'll have the Big Ralph Rider replay. Brought to you by Guarneri's Pizzeria. 1:39 remaining, 7-0 Riders on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Voorhees and Sargent go wide right for the Indians. Robinson in the backfield for Shawnee. Barker under center. Sends a man in motion. Barker goes back to pass, sets up, looking across the middle, and the pass is almost intercepted by Ty Howell. And it'll bring up 4th down and 10 for the Shawnee Indians.
Once again, a man open in the middle of the field. Could not hit him, but good defense out there by Ty Howell. Almost coming up that interception.
Shawnee back to punt. John Barker is the punter. Comes into this ball game ranked 6th in the Western Buckeye League in punting, averaging 30.8 per boot. Troglin and Howell back. He runs with the football, then he'll kick it, and they'll let this one fall and roll out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the St. Mary's 23-yard line. So with 1:27 remaining here in the first quarter, Riders lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard 7-0. They'll have the football. And I'll tell you what, let's keep an eye on the young freshman, Aiden Hinkle.
Yeah, Coach is showing great confidence in the young freshman.
Absolutely.
10 carries on that first drive, plowing it in for the Riders' lone score at this point.
Kurt Butt will turn. He'll give it to Hinkle. Hinkle will dive across the 25-yard line. We'll give him a gain of about 2 on the play, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Rough Riders. Ethan Freewald in for the Rough Riders, and Ryan Hefner out. Kurt Butt under center. Didn't like where Freewalt was. Moves him to the left side. He'll turn, and he'll give to Ty Howell. Sweeps left, cuts it back inside, and he'll gain a couple on the play.
Not much going on in that sweep out there. Shawnee defending that quite well. Going to bring up a 3rd down and about 6.
Kurt Bupp under center. Calls the signals. He'll turn. Quick pitch to Hinkle. Hinkle will dive forward to about the 30-yard line. I apologize earlier. I said number 1 was Ryan Hefner for the Rough Riders. It was actually Dylan Roby. So it'll bring up a 4th down, and we'll call it 5 for the Rough Riders. And back to punt will be Brandon Bowers, the sophomore. And that concludes the first quarter on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard with the score: the St. Mary's Rough Riders 7, the Shawnee Indians nothing. It's time now for our Big Ralph Rider replay, brought to you by Guarneri Pizzeria, home of the signature Big Ralph sub, pizza and calzone. Come try our thirst-quenching Riderade before, during, and after the game. Post-game music every Friday night. Give Guarneri's a call at 419-394-2244. And we hope you enjoy this edition of the Big Ralph Rider replay.
If I can have your attention.
Piper brings him out. Bushberger is wide to the right side. He has made a great catch last time they had the ball. They're setting up the screen again. Oh, it's intercepted by Scotty Glass. He can go. Scotty Glass to the 20. 15. Looking for a block. Glass is going to get it into the end zone for a touchdown. Scotty Glass picked it off and runs it into the end zone for the score.
Thank you so much. 500.
That was awesome. Awesome. The Big Ralph Rider replay. And of course, we'll have one more for you between the 3rd and 4th quarter. You'll want to stay tuned for that one. It's a dandy. Brandon Bowers back to punt for St. Mary's. And it's not a particularly good punt. Ball hits the turf and gets a St. Mary's roll. I guess if there's one benefit of turf is that you get those kind of rolls when you don't get a very good punt.
Bowers will definitely take it.
Absolutely. So the Shawnee Indians will set up shop, their first possession here in the 2nd quarter. Football will be placed at the Shawnee 22-yard line, 1st and 10. John Barker, the quarterback for the Shawnee Indians. Behind him, Will Robertson, 5'9", 215-pound senior. Well, we got a little delay on the field. What's this all about?
Looks like they're having some issues with the 25-second play clock.
All right,
All squared away.
ready to go. Barker calls signals. Quick pitch to Robertson to the right. He's got blockers out front. And he is tackled by Lucas Walter and Trey Fisher for the St. Mary's Rough Riders.
Robertson gets a gain of 5.
Good job by the St. Mary's linebackers flowing to that ball.
It'll bring up second down, and we'll call it 5 for Shawnee. Barker under his center, Gavin Looney. Barker turn, pitches left to Robinson, and he is tackled immediately after a short gain of about 2 yards. Kind of lost his footing.
At least this guy does. I don't know about the other guy.
It'll bring up third down, and we'll call it 4 for the Shawnee Indians.
Another third down for Shawnee to try and convert here. St. Mary's defense playing great on third down tonight.
3 still back there. Nice. Yeah,
Shawnee sends 3 receivers to the left. Barker calls out the signals in the shotgun formation. Snap, he'll roll to his left, quick pitch, and it'll go to Voorhees, and Voorhees is going to be stopped, I believe, short of a first down, and in on the play was
Looks
Trace
like you got-
Mabry and a host of other Rough Riders. Well, they did get a first down.
Well, they got a first down, but that young man's going to field those hits. Looked like that play was more open than what it ended up being, Joe. Rider defense once again closing quickly.
First and 10 for Shawnee. After the first down, we'll call the ball on the Shawnee 33-yard line. Barker in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. He'll stand and quick pitch to throw it to Voorhees, and Voorhees is brought down immediately.
Just a 2-yard gain, Joe, and they're trying to get their players, their skilled players out in space, but the Rider defense is closing quickly and not just letting them get there.
Good job there by Wyland McCollum, junior for the Rough Riders, running that play down. So to bring up second down, we'll call it 8. The ball resting at the Shawnee 35-yard line. 9:34. Clock is moving here in the second quarter. Barker under center now. Sends a man in motion. He'll roll to his left, and he throws it out to Robinson. He's got it at the 40. Breaks a tackle to the 50. He's got a couple men to beat. Ty Howell's right there. And, boy, he stiff arms Ty Howell to the ground. And then he's finally run out of bounds, but
we have a flag down, Joe, back at midfield.
Barker's pass, Robertson, big gain.
so we'll see what's going to happen. It looks that this one's going to come back. So a big gain for the Shawnee Indians is going to be negated by a penalty on the field. We'll take a look at the referee and see what he has to say. What the penalty was. What's that one, Jim?
I'll have to look that one up, Joe.
It'll be second down and 8 while Jim looks up that hand signal. We'll find out what that penalty was all about. Barker under center for the Shawnee Indians. Robinson in the backfield. He'll turn. He's flushed out of the pocket. He'll cross the 40-yard line. Barker on the carry. Troglin and McCollum in on the tackle, but not before Barker picks up a first down for the Indians. Ball will be placed at the Shawnee 46-yard line. Clock is rolling on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. 8:54 remaining here in the first half as the Indians break huddle.
The call on that penalty, Joe, was an illegal blindside block.
Well, that'll take it. We'll take that. Barker, quick pitch to Looney. Oh, excuse me, that's Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson on the carry for Shawnee. He's run out of bounds. We'll give him a gain of about 2. It'll bring up 2nd and a long 8 for Shawnee.
Once again, Shawnee trying to stretch that field to get on the outside. St. Mary's defense, once again, closing that gap.
Well, in case you just happened to be tuning in, we had a rain delay of about 40 minutes or so because lightning and thunder was in the area, so they immediately got the teams off the field to their respective locker rooms, and we've got a timeout on the field, I do believe, called by the Shawnee Indians. So with 8 minutes and 33 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, the Rough Riders lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard 7-0. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Varsity Lanes, home of the Rough Riders 2018-19 Boys and Girls State Bowling Champions. Striking up delicious food, 32 taps, Queen of Hearts, and nightly food and drink specials with a great family atmosphere. Carry out is available. Stop in and see us after the game. Go Riders!
Shawnee has the football. Barker in the shotgun, has a man in motion. 2-step drop. He'll throw over the middle. The pass is complete. And that's Voorhees, and he's to the 20-yard line, and he is brought down by a touchdown-saving tackle for the Rough Riders by number 43, Brandon Paul. There you see it. There's the missed tackle, and he just kept his balance and just moved on down the field, and
Sergeant tackle by number 43, Brandon.
Great design
picked up
play.
a first down.
They designed that up, saw something after the timeout, and hit that receiver one-on-one, missed tackle, and a big gain.
And I think I said that was Voorhees, but I think it was actually Matthew Sargent. So it's 1st and 10 for the Shawnee Indians. Ball at the 13-yard line. Ball carrier is Robinson. He'll get a gain of couple. We'll call it 2nd down and 9 for Shawnee. The ball setting at the St. Mary's 7-yard line.
Best drive of the night for Shawnee.
Barker under center this time. He'll drop to his right, throws into the end zone. Ball almost intercepted by Ty Howe. Pass was intended for Voorhees. Brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Shawnee Indians at the St. Mary's 12-yard lines. Clock stopped at 7:25. Rough Riders on top on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard by a score of 7-0. And the Shawnee Indians knocking at the door. 3rd and 9 for the Indians. Sargent and Voorhees are wide to the right. Barker in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Drops straight back. He's looking for Voorhees. Got it. Touchdown, Shawnee.
Barker's pass completed for a touchdown to Voorhees.
Boy, Barker had to thread the needle on that one with Trogdon and Ty Howe right there. Just a little step behind. And
7:21.
Yep. Just went down, found the end zone, just squared his shoulders up to the quarterback, and Barker hit him with a touchdown. We've got a timeout on the field with the score. The St. Mary's Rough Riders 7 and the Shawnee Indians 6. We'll take this break. We'll come right back with the PAT right after this.
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
7:21 remaining here in the first half, 7-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We still have the injured player now being helped off the field. And the Riders will return to the field. And I don't know exactly who that is, and we really don't want to speculate. We've always found that if you speculate who the injury is on, that parents and grandparents and relatives get a little upset. If you, they don't get upset, they get a little panicky if you give the wrong player. And here again, Jim, and what would be a perfect piece of equipment to have in this situation? A pair of binoculars.
A pair of binoculars, yes, that would definitely be helpful when we cannot see the numbers.
Jacob Voorhees is now on to try the point after for the Shawnee Indians. There's the snap. It's down, kick is up, and the kick is no good. So with 7:21 remaining here in the first half, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 7, the Shawnee Indians 6. We'll take a break. We'll come right back right after this.
Here to help make life go right is your local Good Neighbor State Farm agent, Laura Yelton, with 30 years experience. Visit Laura and her team located in downtown St. Mary's for your auto, home, banking, and life insurance needs. Be a legend. Insure your life.
Well, this kickoff return is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be an agent. Insure your life. Back to receive the kickoff for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. In the middle is Ty Howell. To his left is Dylan Troglin, and also back there for the St. Mary's Rough Riders is number 11, is Braden Hemmelgarn. Here's the kick by the Indians, and it's going to be taken by Troglin at about the 9-yard line. He's at the 15 to the 20, and he gets to about the 29-yard line before he is brought down by the Shawnee Indians, number 38, Joey Hale.
Rough Riders take over, first down and 10.
So the St. Mary's Rough Riders back on the field. Kurt Bupp is your quarterback.
The Riders going to come out and try regain some momentum in this game.
They're cutting to 25.
So they're having some issues with the 25-second clock, Joe, and it looks like they are going to perhaps keep the play clock on the field.
Turn them off. Yeah, turn them off. I'll turn them off. Can you make it zeros and always leave it zero? Yeah, leave it zero. There you go, that'll work. They're just going to do it the way it goes.
So they're going to take the play clocks off the field, so to speak. 25 seconds and 40 seconds will be on the field, kept by the officials. Kurt Bupp runs over to Doug Fry, gets the play, heads back to the huddle. Up front again for the Rough Riders, Gavin Ward, Stash Patterson, Riley Swigert, Logan Allen, Morgan Sewer, and Blake Knorr. There's Ethan Wedding on the carry.
Another power run right up the middle.
We'll give him a gain of 5. We'll call it 2nd down and 5. Ball is at the 30-yard line for St. Mary's. Clock continues to run. Bupp turns. Give the ball, I believe, to Hinkle. He'll get a gain of about 2 yards on the play. We'll call it 3rd down and a long 3.
Third down and 3.
I'm not so sure if St. Mary's even tried to pass.
They have not attempted to pass at this point, Joe. 3rd and 3, I look for them to continue putting that ball right up the middle with Hinkle.
Absolutely. Bupp turns and he'll give the ball to Hinkle, like you called, Jim, and he's going to be a little bit shy of the 1st down, I believe. It depends on where the officials spot the football.
Second effort gets close.
It's going to be real close.
About a half yard.
St. Mary's, it looks like, is going to go with it. 4th and less than a yard. Kurt Bupp, full house backfield. Quarterback sneak, he'll get the 1st down.
Yes, good push up front. Center 2 guards.
Up with the quarterback. Sneak, good enough for a Rough Rider, 1st down.
5 minutes and 57 seconds remaining. St. Mary's leads on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard 7-6. Ty Howell, wing right, and he's going to come back on the counter. Looking for room. Gets to about the 39-yard line before he is brought down there by number 9, Jacob Voorhees on the tackle.
Riders trying to break it to the outside on that counter play. You notice Shawnee's defense now having 9 guys in the box, attempting to stop those dive plays and traps in the middle.
We'll call it 2nd down and 5 for St. Mary's. Bup, dive play. I believe Hinkle on the carry again. Nope, Ty Howell. Correct that. Ty Howell, the ball carrier. Running behind Logan Allen. We'll call it 3rd down and 2.
Another 3rd and short for the Riders.
Grade 7:30, bonfire 8 p.m. here, October 10th.
Riley Swigert, your center. But quick pitch, it goes to Aiden Hinkle. He hops over a tackle, and he's still running. Good second effort by the freshman, Aiden Hinkle. We'll give him another 1st down.
Absolutely, Joe. He was stuffed there, and he just kept turning his legs just like they teach him and work him in practice. And great effort there getting that 1st down.
Here comes the counter to Wedding. He's got room, and he'll get it to the Shawnee 40, we'll call it the 46-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 6, and it'll call it 2nd down and 4.
The Riders starting to mix their running game up a little bit.
Here comes Hinkle, breaks a tackle, jumps over a defender, and is finally brought down at the Shawnee 33-yard line. Another good run by the freshman.
First down, St. Mary's.
Boy, just another great effort run by the freshman Hinkle. And he is getting a workout tonight, Joe.
We've got a timeout on the field. We're going to keep it here real quick, but I'm going to tell you something right here. We failed to mention this, but I know when I talk to Coach Reams on the field, I know the character of Ty Schlosser. Now keep in mind, Ty is out for the season with a knee injury. But I can guarantee you right now that he is right there in Aiden Hinkle's corner, encouraging him, showing him some technique, and just kind of in his corner to push him. Because this is a tough situation to be in. This kid's a freshman. This kid's a freshman. And, you know, he's getting it from a great leader. And even though Ty Schlosser is done for the season, he's not done. He's on that field. He's just as vital a part of this program and this football team as if he was on the field.
Absolutely. And you can see just him, his presence felt with his teammates, and really, like you said, Joe, showing a lot of leadership. And it's pretty impressive for this young freshman to come in and get his first carries.
We're back to action. Ty Howell sweeps the ball left, breaks a tackle. He's to the 25-yard line, maybe to the now they're going to call him at the 25-yard line. So we'll give him a gain of about 8. We'll call him 2nd down and 2.
Great effort again by the offensive line, maintaining their blocks and then going out to the second level and getting more blocks. Great job.
Bupp calls the signals. Turn. He'll give the ball to Hinkle. Hinkle gains about 6 yards on the play. It'll be another Rough Rider 1st down. And the ball will be placed at the Shawnee 20-yard line. Still plenty of time left here in the first half. 3:16, clock is moving. 7-6 Riders lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard.
3 and 12 back here. 3.
Hinkle jumps over the block, puts on a move, gets to the 10-yard line. Wow.
11.
I'm impressed.
Very impressed, Joe, and for our listeners, this freshman, Aiden Hinkle, just a freshman, 6 foot 190, and he's running much bigger than that.
Just got word that he has 95 yards here in the first half.
And I think he's at 16 carries.
Wow.
3.
We'll
There's
give it
17.
to him again.
Probably about the 6.
And he'll be down at about the 6-yard line.
7-yard line.
So we'll see. This will be First down or second down?
It's going to be a first down.
Okay.
Inside the 10, be first and goal.
First and goal for the Rough Riders at the Shawnee 7-yard line. Turn, give the ball to Howell. Howell looking for the corner, and he'll be stopped at the 2-yard line. He is stopped there on the play by number 8 for the Shawnee Indians.
Yeah, Joe, you can really see the Rider offensive line really showing dominance right now. You can see the Shawnee players, hands on hip, a little bit tired after this long drive by the Riders, responding to that touchdown drive by Shawnee.
Hinkle and Bupp. Hinkle gives him, Bupp gives the ball to Hinkle, and he goes off the right side for a Rough Rider score. So touchdown, Rough Riders.
140.
So you'll see it from the end zone, just a turn and give, and great line push up front by the offensive line, and Hinkle takes it in for the score.
Unofficially, Joe, I have him for 19 carries in this first half.
Wow. So he's really been the workhorse force for the Rough Riders. Henry Spencer with the point after touchdown, and it is good. So with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining on the clock, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 14 and the Shawnee Indians 6. We'll be back right after this.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
As Brandon Bowers will get ready to put the ball on the tee, and this kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend. Insure your life. Nice kick by Bowers. It'll be taken at about the 2-yard line.
28, 29.
And And that's Peyton Wilson on the return, and we've got a flag as he was knocked out of bounds. Good return by Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, good return, and unfortunately the Riders tackled the ball carrier out of bounds, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
So add another 15 to the return by Peyton Wilson, and there you see the end of the play as Walter shoves him out of bounds. Officials thought that was a little excessive. We've got to move back, Riders. So it was a good return by Wilson, then tack on 15 with the penalty, so it'll be first down and 10 for the Shawnee Indians. The ball will be set at the St. Mary's 43-yard line. 1:28 remaining here in the first half. 14-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We've got whistles on the field. We've got a timeout called by the St. Mary's Rough Riders. We'll take a break and we'll come right back with 1:28 remaining here in the first half. On the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 14 and the Shawnee Indians 6. We'll be back right after this.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
We welcome you back once again to Grand Lake Health System Field, the Rough Rider Athletic Complex. Joe Horvath alongside Jim Swigert. 1:28 remaining here in the first half. St. Mary's leads 14-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Shawnee has the football. Robinson in motion. Barker's going to swing the pass out to him. It's completed, and he has stood up immediately. He'll give him a gain of about 3 on the play. But there's Trey Fisher, Lucas Walter, Blake Knorr's in on the tackle. Good job by the Rough Rider defense. And we'll give him a gain of about 3 on the play. So we'll call it second down and 7. Barker calls the signals out of the shotgun. Robinson in motions to the right. He'll step, he'll look to his left, he'll throw it over to Voorhees, I believe. And he is tackled there by Walder.
Nice play out there in the open field by number 4, Lucas Walter.
So it'll bring up 3rd down and 5. We got a timeout on the field with this score again. St. Mary's 14, Shawnee 6, 49 seconds remaining. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this. Albert Sporting Goods, located in downtown St. Mary's, takes pride in serving retail and team customers throughout the area and the state of Ohio. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. Our on-site services include embroidery, screen printing, digitizing, and graphic design. For all your sporting good needs, stop in at Albert Sporting Goods, 121 West Spring Street in St. Mary's. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Shawnee Indians at the St. Mary's Rough Riders 37-yard line. Barker under center. He'll turn, he'll quick pitch to number 29. That is Peyton Wilson.
I believe he's going to be short.
It'll be 4th down and 1 yard for the Shawnee Indians. This is a big defensive play for the St. Mary's Rough Riders.
It is. It's really a big play for the defense, a big play for Shawnee's offense, to the team that gains momentum right before the halftime. Be a big stop for the Riders here.
Barker calls the signals. Turns, give the ball. I think he gave the ball to Peyton Wilson, but we'll have to check.
Not enough to move the chains.
Yep, Wilson was the ball carrier.
Yep, he needed a yard. He got a yard and a half.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage, and they throw the football to the grounds to stop the clock. Shawnee is out of timeouts. St. Mary's still has 2 remaining here in the first half. 14-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Shawnee moving the football. They'll have the football 2nd down and 10 on the Rough Rider 32-yard line.
Yep, and no doubt this ball is going to be in the air. Don't be shocked if they try to get it all right here in one play, Joe.
Voorhees wide right. That'll be probably Barker who he's going to look for. He is tackled for a loss. Good job there by Blake Knorr and also Trey Fisher.
Yeah, they were going deep patterns by 3 wide receivers. No time to throw, and the host of defenders were there.
Well, now we've got a timeout on the field called by the St. Mary's Rough Riders. 16 seconds remaining. We'll keep it right here. It's going to be 3rd down and 14 for the Shawnee Indians. The ball will be placed at the St. Mary's 37-yard line. Pretty much what you expected, Jim?
Yeah, one thing that kind of stands out to me is St. Mary's defense playing real well against the athleticism of Shawnee. They tried quick pitches. They tried throwing the balls out in the flat, tried to get their athletes in space, and St. Mary's is pursuing to the ball. Other than one play, they've tackled really well tonight, too.
Well, both teams return back onto the field. Like I said, it's 3rd down and 14. Barker under center. Voorhees will be wide to the right. Wilson will be the lone setback behind Barker. We got a man in motion. That's Hefner. Barker looks down the field, and it falls incomplete. Pass was intended for Jacob Voorhees. So that'll bring up 4th down and 14 with 9.9 seconds remaining in the first half.
4th and 15. Shawnee's offense will stay on the field. The Rider defense, if they could get a stop here, they could end up coming up with a play or 2 here on offense before halftime.
Jacob Voorhees wide right for the Indians. Barker under center. Wilson, the lone setback. Man in motion is Hefner. He'll roll to his right. He's being flushed by Knorr. And Waylon McCollum misses him. And there's the pass downfield. And it's caught by Voorhees and run out of bounds as time expires. I'll tell you what, if there was more time on the clock, they would have a definite shot. So that was a big gain for the Shawnee Indians. But it's too little, too late as time runs out here in the first half on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. With the score, St. Mary's Rough Riders 14, the Shawnee Indians 6. We'll take a break. Well, let's wait a minute here. Before we break, they're calling the Rough Riders back onto the field.
Yeah, the officials are huddled down there inside the 10. I don't know if it's a question on timing or what they possibly could be thinking on this.
They have no stinking clue. I mean, you can't.
Doug Fry's out talking to him. He wants to know. I'm sure Jerry Cooper's out there as well.
So they're kind of contradicting themselves now.
So we're kind of seeing what this is all about. See how this is going to shake out. This first half may not be over. But time has run out on the clock.
Time keeps on slipping.
Voorhees caught the pass from Barker and was run out of bounds at about the 10-yard line as time expired on the clock. So in my opinion, this first half should be over.
Yeah, again, Joe, I'm not sure what they are discussing. It appears that they're going to be lining up and playing one more down.
Oh, my gosh. They're going to get one more shot at it. Doug Fry is not a happy camper. I can tell you that right now. Now Doug wants a timeout. See if he's going to get it. Rough Riders have it. They have one timeout remaining, and they're going to use it right here. They're going to put 1 second back on the clock. So it's going to be timeout for St. Mary's with 1 second remaining here in the first half. 14-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll just keep it right here. And they're going to try a field goal.
So we're going to have a field goal attempt, Joe.
I think Voorhees will be the man attempting the extra point. We've got movement on the left side of the Shawnee offensive line. It's going to move it back 5 yards. So we'll move it back 5 more yards, and it'll be set at the St. Mary's 12-yard line. This will be a 22-yard field goal. Peyton Wilson will hold. Jacob Voorhees will attempt the field goal. There's the snap. There's the kick. It's up. And it is good. So as time runs off the clock here in the first half, the Shawnee Indians get a field goal and draw to 14-9 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, and that ends the first half here at Grand Lake Health System Field at the Rough Rider Athletic Complex. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show right after this.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Our halftime tonight is brought to you exclusively by Hewer Renovating. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643. kind of running down the scoring in the first half. In the first quarter, with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first quarter, Aiden Hinkle took the ball over from the 1 yard for a 1 yard touchdown. It was then St. Mary's 6, Shawnee nothing. The point after touchdown was good by Henry Spencer, and the Rough Riders led 7-0. And that was pretty much how the first quarter ended. Then in the second quarter, with 7:21 remaining in the first half, pass to Voorhees from Barker, and that was for a score. And it was St. Mary's 7 and Shawnee 6. The point after touchdown was no good, and the Rough Riders led by a score of 7-6. And then with 1:40 remaining in the first half, Aiden Hinkle had a 3 yard touchdown run, made the score 13-6, and the point after touchdown was good. And to conclude the scoring in the first half with 1 second to go on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, Voorhees connected on a 22-yard field goal, and it is now 14-9 in favor of the St. Mary's Rough Riders. Joining me now here at halftime is the Memorial High School principal, John Burke.
Hey, Joe.
And we're not going to really talk about football, although if you want to throw in your assessment of the first half, you can. The lightning delay kind of interrupts the flow of things, doesn't it?
It definitely interrupts the flow, but the Raiders came out and finished the drive and got a touchdown out of it.
Absolutely. I guess one of the things I want to talk to you about is, of course, last week was the home opener for the Rough Riders here at the Rough Rider Athletic Complex. Obviously, overall, I think things went good.
Yeah, things went smooth. It's hard to plan for such a big event, and we had a lot of events that we hadn't actually planned for happen that night too. We had an FFA car show on top of the parking situation that we had. We had been planning this parking for probably over a year because we knew. And so there have been meetings going on for over a year of how this is going to work. Dan Grotehouse is our transportation director, and he's got to be one of the best, if not the state, the country, in school safety, in transportation, and he's also a bus mechanic. And he's been working very closely with St. Mary's Police Department and how we're going to park everybody in and get everybody out. We thought we got everybody out by our count at 43 minutes. The people who were left over were administrators and game personnel. We know it could have been more efficient, so we planned every day this week in trying to park people more efficiently. So what we're trying to do now is make general parking, everybody stay either at the school and park by the tennis courts, move around to the staff parking, and then move around to the common side. And then we could also park on the visitors side of the stadium and then keep the home side of the stadium, that parking lot, just for reserve parking. I thought tonight I was out there directing traffic before I came up here. I'm running the scoreboard up here. And I thought parking was going much smoother tonight. We also don't have quite the crowd we had last week, so that helps a little bit. But I felt definitely we were more prepared this week and with the game under our belt, and it's only going to get better.
Absolutely. And I thought they did a fantastic job. Of course, there's always some parking issues, and you guys addressed that throughout the week. So hopefully tonight things will go a little more smoothly as people exit the stadium tonight. But again, last week, 3,500 people, probably over. You had 3 class reunions that met here. You had the POW, the wall was here. You had all kinds of activities and festivities going on. I'll tell you one thing that I thought was outstanding was the fireworks display.
Oh, we had a lot of great activities here. We wanted to make it big. Last year, our Memorial High School was designated a Purple Star School from ODE. We're one of the few schools in the state of Ohio that has that designation for recognizing military families and for providing resources for military families. So we wanted the military to be a big part of it. The fireworks were great. That was put on by Josh Hughes, kind of organized that from the band perspective. The fireballs after the touchdowns were incredible. The fireworks at the halftime show with the Bud's American flag on the field and the fireworks that came with the music it gave me chills and goosebumps. I thought that was incredible. Yeah, we had 3 class reunions. We had VIPs of major donors to the stadium. We had a lot of great things going on here. We had Dave's Barbecue. It had his food truck out here. It was more like a festival than a football game. It felt like that.
And we talked last week prior to going on the air, is that there's a lot of new traditions that are taking place here. Now everybody has their own tradition of Skip Bachman Stadium, and and that was a great facility, but it was time to move on. But when you walk from the school here on the path, you got tailgating going on. I think the band will start to march down the path as they approach the field. So, you can hear the band coming in the distance, and here they come. So that's a tradition that is starting. You got a lot of people tonight I saw out there. They're starting to tailgate now. You see the tents out. You see the chairs out, and grills starting to pop up here and there. So it's almost like a collegiate atmosphere.
Yeah, and we really feel like we have a premier atmosphere environment for a high school football game. If not in the state, we have to have one of the best venues in the state. It's exciting when you're coming over from the parking lot and you make that pathway venture over, and when you see the band coming over from the high school over to the turf, that's electric. That's really exciting. So one of the changes we made last week was our student section was actually too small for our students, and the band section was too small for the band. So we brought in another set of bleachers, and I hope that's working out for them really well. I know the kids were really excited because now they're out on the field and they're closer to their peers and in the excitement with the band. So it's a great place to be.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you again for taking time out to come and talk to us a little bit about the Rough Rider Athletic Complex and the things that have taken place, the things that you're doing going forward. And, of course, there will always be meetings, and you're always going to try to fine-tune and make things just run a little bit smoother week in and week out.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of planning going into this. I want to thank Dan Burke a lot. He heads up the RPA. And there's a good committee of good people on that RPA, and we're almost there. We got to finish up the project, so we're almost there, and looking forward to seeing what we can do with this place.
Awesome. Thanks, John, for stopping by and chatting with us.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more as Jim Swigert will join me, and he'll have the statistics in the first half when we come back right after this. Guarneri's on Spring Street, home of the signature Big Ralph Sub, Pizza, and Calzone. Come try our thirst-quenching Rider Aid before, during, and after the game. Post-game live music every Friday night. It's Guarneri's. Give them a call, 419-394-2244. Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily. Open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock. Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, your job is made easy with Scott Ross Realty. Contact one of their hardworking, well-trained agents today at 419-305-4373 for all of your home buying and selling needs. Scott Ross Realty, wishing all Rough Rider sports good luck.
We welcome you back to the Grand Lake Health System Field, Rough Rider Athletic Complex. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert, where on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 14, the Shawnee Indians 9. Joining me once again is Jim Swigert with all the first half stats. Jim, it's all yours.
Okay, Joe, let's start off with the visiting Shawnee Indians. Quarterback John Barker attempted to throw the ball 18 times. He had 10 completions for 109 yards. His longest completion was 39, and of course that was right before the end of the half. Rushing, William Roby, 4 rushes, 12 yards. Peyton Wilson, 3 rushes, 8 yards. John Barker, 2 rushes, 6 yards. And so on the ground for Shawnee, they had a net rushing yardage of 30 yards on 10 carries. Again, passing for John Barker, 10 for 18, 139 yards. Time of possession favored the St. Mary's Rough Riders, 14 minutes, 35 seconds to 9 minutes and 25 seconds for Shawnee. The St. Mary's Rough Riders, they had a total of 166 yards. To figure out their passing yardage was pretty simple. No attempts, no completions, 0 yards. They've done all their offense tonight by rushing the ball 35 times for 166 yards. And, of course, 20 of those rushes, Joe, by freshman Aiden Hinkle. 20 rushes, 101 yards, and scoring 2 touchdowns. Ty Howe had 6 rushes for 30 yards. Ethan Wedling, 5 rushes for 25 yards. Kurt Bupp, 4 rushes for 10 yards. So there's some statistics for us. And again, what really stands out is the young freshman, the 6-foot, 190-pound freshman getting 20 carries in the first half. And we saw late in that second quarter, he started making those 3- and 4-yard gains turn into 7 and 8. And so I won't be surprised to see him break a couple.
Well, I think one of the things, Jim, as you say, those 3- and 4-yard gains by Hinkle is now turning into 6 and 7. I think you can attribute that to the offensive line just wearing down the defensive line for the Shawnee Indians. Now, Shawnee plays a lot of kids both ways. And over a period of time, you put them big bodies on big bodies and just lean on them throughout the course of a ball game. It's going to wear you out. And right now, the St. Mary's offensive line is dominating the Shawnee defensive line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure the coaching staff really are pleased. They want to see that confidence in their offensive line. They're getting the consistency that they haven't had, and tonight they're making it just like last week. I think conditioning played a part in it.
Absolutely.
Come second half, and we might see that tonight as well.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break, but before I take a break, I have been told that I owe Mr. Craig Hewer an apology. And this comes not because it was our mistake. I take no credit for this, but this is Doug Spencer. This falls on his shoulders. So I am supposed to issue an apology to Craig Hewer for what happened last week at halftime. So my apologies to Craig Hewer. And again, if you want to just call Doug Spencer and that's the person you need to get a hold of. So, but we want to thank Craig and all of our sponsors for being part of Rider Nation Station, because in all honesty, without our sponsors, we wouldn't be here. And so we want to thank Hewer Renovating for being our halftime exclusive sponsor. And with that being said, Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If you are looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643. Well, the St. Mary's Memorial All-Brass Marching Band is performing for the fans here at the Grand Lake Health Systems Field at the Rough Rider Athletic Complex. I'm Joe Hurlbert, and alongside me is Jim Swigert. And you by any chance happen to pop up any scores?
Yeah, let me see what we can do here. Technology is great when it works, of course.
Well, I think while you're doing that,
and you can talk about how the rain's impacted the technology.
Yeah, we have, and and we want to remind everybody that if you want to watch the video broadcast, you can again go to Rider Nation Station on YouTube, and you can watch the game, and also on TSC come Monday on channels. I should have this memorized by now, but I don't. On channel 702 and 13.1, and it'll start Monday. But because of our rain that we had and the delay, and when it first came down, it flat out poured. And of course, when you got cameras and all the electronics that are out there, and they get a little bit wet and draw a little moisture, it kind of plays havoc on some of the things that we're trying to do. And of course, if that happens, it's basically due in part to that and the issues that we have with the rain and moisture that took place at the beginning of this contest. But I'll tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to our staff, our crew, those guys down in the truck and the guys out on the camera for weathering the rain and getting this thing on to our listeners and then to our viewers. But you have other scores around the area.
I do. In the Western Buckeye League in Walpock leads Kenton at halftime 10-7. In Bath and Salina are tied in the second quarter 7-7. At Elida, second quarter score, Elida 13, Defiance 7. And at Van Wert in the first quarter, Otto Glandorf Titans lead Van Wert Cougars 14-7. And of course, here our score in St. Mary's at St. Mary's Rough Riders 14, Shawnee Indians 9.
Well, keep them scores right beside you because, let's see, I don't think I have games in the area tonight. But go ahead, give me Walpock and Kenton. Of course, both Walpock and Kenton are 3-0 in the Western Buckeye League, so one of those teams are going to suffer their first league loss. Of course, Walpock and Netta stands at the top of the Western Buckeye League overall with a perfect 4-0 mark. And you said they're, at 10-7 right now at the half?
10-7
Walpock
at halftime.
on tie. Anybody else?
we got Salina and Bath. They're tied at 7 in the second quarter.
Salina and Bath, both of those teams are 1-2 in the Western Buckeye League. So one of them will go to 2-2, the other will fall to 1-3. Of course, Defiance and Elida, everybody's got them on their radar because they are the only winless teams in the Western Buckeye League. They're 0-4 overall, 0-3 in the Western Buckeye League, and they're playing each other tonight. What kind of score you got on that?
We have Elida's on top at halftime, 13-7 over Defiance.
Well, that's one of those games that them teams are pretty evenly matched. They could be done about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done.
Pretty much all close games around the league tonight.
How about OG? They're tied atop the Western Buckeye League with a perfect 3-0 mark as well with Kenton and Walpock, and they're playing Salina.
Ottawa Glandorf Titans are playing Van Wert. They lead in the second quarter, 14-7.
Boy, so all the games are fairly close as far as the first half is concerned. And here it's 14-9. The St. Mary's Rough Riders lead the Shawnee Indians on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with more as our halftime continues from Grand Lake Health System Field right after this. St. Mary's Foundry is a global leader in manufacturing complex iron castings. Our skilled workforce takes pride in producing the highest quality iron castings, weighing up to 60,000 pounds. St. Mary's Foundry wants to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all our local teams, wishing them a safe and extraordinary season. And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
Auglaze Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or AuglazEquipmentRental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaze Equipment Rental.
Well, the Shawnee Indians have returned to the football field in preparation of second half action. The Riders are just leaving their locker room, making their way to the field. Both teams will get about a 3-minute warm-up. We've got 1:56 remaining here in our halftime. 14-9, the St. Mary's Rough Riders lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We're going to take another break, hear from our friends at Hewer Renovating, and we'll be right back with second half action right after this. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643. Well, both teams have returned to the playing surface here at the Grand Lake Health System Field, the St. Mary's Rough Riders and the Shawnee Indians. And in case you just joined us, after a rain delay of about 45 minutes or so, due to lightning and thunder, the Rough Riders lead 14-9. It's not been a high-scoring affair, but there's been a lot of good football played here in the first half. And one of the things that stand out, as Jim was talking about, is the play of Aiden Hinkle. You know, he's already rushed for over 100 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns to his credit. And keep in mind, this kid's only a sophomore, but he's a big kid. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. You're right. He's a freshman. Feel free to throw in there. You're allowed to correct me.
It's just not very often we see freshmen come in to this league and do something special like this kid's doing tonight. Obviously, Coach Fry and the Riders offense, they have a lot of confidence in the kids. So.
Absolutely. And again, we've told you that they've done it without throwing the football. So Kurt Buff has yet to throw a pass on the evening for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. Well, I'll tell you what, in all honesty, that final play of the first half, well, prior to the field goal, that was, Coach Fry was out on the field. They thought the time had ran out when Jacob Voorhees caught the ball and went out of bounds. The Riders left the field, but the officials got together and said, no, there's 1 second left to go in this first half, and then they lined up. And, of course, they had a procedure penalty that moved the ball back 5 more yards, but that was really didn't make any difference whatsoever as Voorhees was able to kick it from about 22 yards in. So, nonetheless, it was questionable to say the least. So, hopefully that'll put a little fire in the Rough Riders to come out here in the second half and kind of get things rolling.
Yeah, without knowing the discussion on the field, obviously it was a judgment call by the officials that can see the clock, and you never want to see a game decided by controversy or whatnot, but got a good ball game here, and we'll see if the Riders can come out and regain that momentum and continue pounding the ball off the middle and taking control of the line of scrimmage. And Shawnee wanting to do just the opposite. They've had a couple good drives here. The quarterback's had some time to throw. He's missed a few. See what is in store for the Rider defense.
Well, we got a little bit of time before the two teams take the field to start the second half. We would like to thank our sponsors, all of our sponsors. We'd like to thank Albert Sporting Goods, All Glaze Equipment Rental, Dave Weilbacher, attorney at law, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Guarneri's Pizzeria, Unique Awards and Signs, Varsity Lanes, and Vogel's Bake Shop for being our game sponsors. For those of you who catch the Doug Fry Show on Thursdays, we'd like to thank our sponsors for that program, Glass Derringer Investment Management, Scott Ross Realty, and Vogel Bake Shop. And then if you happen to catch Zach Farrell and Mark Sisko for the Rules of the Game program, that is being brought to you by our friends at Guarneri Pizzeria. Guarneri's Pizzeria also brings you our Big Ralph Rider replay. And our exclusive sponsors this year are the St. Mary's Foundry, who exclusively sponsor our scoreboard, Hewer Renovating, who exclusively sponsor the halftime, and Lori Yelton, State Farm Insurance agent, who sponsors our kickoff and kickoff return. Want to remind everybody again to subscribe to Rider Nation Station, and that's, I don't know, fairly easy to do. I guess you just go to Rider Nation Station via YouTube and pull up Rider Nation Station, subscribe to it, and you'll get notifications as to what programs are on and when, and you can join us that way. This kickoff return is being brought to you by your State Farm Insurance agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend. Insure your life. Back to return to kickoff for the St. Mary's Rough Riders to start the second half. We got Ty Howell in the middle, Dylan Troglin, and Ethan Wedding. Not really sure who's kicking off. I think it's 68.
12 at the 10.
Ty Howell on the return. He'll get the ball out to the St. Mary's 32-yard line, 33-yard line. We'll call it 1st and 10 at the St. Mary's 33-yard line. So we'll see if the St. Mary's, here he is on the return, Ty Howell. You'll see him behind his blockers, a wall of blockers. Buff will turn, will give the ball to Ethan Wedding. Sweeping to his right. He's to the 35, to the 40, knocked out of bounds and shoved out of bounds. Now there should be a flag here, wouldn't you think? And there is. Jim, you wanted to jump out of your chair on that one, didn't you?
No, not really. I see what the official doing. He's making sure proper mechanics. He had the call, and he just took his time, and I think that's a great what do you want to say? Just good experience officiating to take your time and get the flag.
Absolutely. So that'll be 15 yards added on to the run by Ethan Wedding. And so the Rough Riders will now have the football at the 44-yard line of the Shawnee Indians. Turn, give the ball to Hinkle, and he stood up at the line of scrimmage for little to no gain.
Shawnee defense ready for that here in this opening drive of the second half.
Carter Heights, Joey Hale with the stop.
So it'll bring up second down and 10 for the Rough Riders. Kurt Bupp. He'll turn, he'll give the ball on the counter to Ty Howell. Turns it back up the middle, gets the ball across the 35-yard line, and was tackled there at about the 34-yard line. So another first down for the St. Mary's Rough Riders.
I know I say it a handful of times already tonight and last week. Ty Howell once again showing great vision and seeing where that hole was and cutting it back to the middle.
Riley Swigert brings the offense out. Kurt Bupp turns. He'll give the ball to Hinkle. Hinkle picks up about 5 yards on the play, maybe 6.
Nice gain of 6.
So we'll call it second down and 4 for the Riders. Riders are moving the football here to start the second half. 10:41 remaining here in the third quarter. Bupp will turn. He'll give the ball to Ethan Wedding. And he'll pick up 4 yards to the Shawnee 25-yard line. So it'll bring up third down and about 1 for the Rough Riders.
Riders been third and short all night long.
Hinkle or Bupp? Hinkle. Off the left side, good blocking up front. He'll pick up the first down with ease as we move the chains one more time with another Rough Rider first down.
Once again, you just get a feel that offensive line is gaining confidence, plowing full steam ahead.
Hinkle and Howell behind Bupp. Howell with the carry. He'll sweep wide to the left, and he is knocked down after a little or no gain.
Loss of 1, second down and 11.
Tackle by Will Robertson on the play. They're going to give him a gain of about a loss of 1, so it'll be second down and 11. Sorry. Ty Howell in the wing right. Will turn. There's Kurt Bupp's going to throw the football. He's got Howell. He's looking for Howell. Howell's got it
great
at
catch.
about the 3-yard line. Nice catch by Ty Howell. That's the first pass of the night for the Rough Riders and completion.
A really nice completion for the senior Bupp, rolling towards.
Nice protection there for Bupp, and nice out route by Howell. Good concentration as he catches it, keeps a foot in bounds, and the Rough Riders have the ball. They're knocking on the door. Here's Hinkle. He's second effort, and he's going to be close to the goal line. It's going to be down at about the, well, I don't know, like 1.5 yard line, but we'll call it the 2. Oh, we'll call it at the 1. Nose of the football just shy of the 1 yard line. Second down and goal at the 1 yard line. I say Bupp or Hinkle. It's Bupp on the sneak, pushes forward. I don't know if he's made this or not. We'll wait for the officials to come in. No, I don't think so. We're going to give him maybe a gain of about 1/2 yard. So that'll bring up third down and, oh my gosh. Third down and less than a foot to go for a Rough Rider touchdown. 8:20 remaining here in the third quarter. 14-9. Riders knocking on the door. Here's Bupp, quarterback sneak. Waiting for the officials. Touchdown, Riders. A 1 yard, we'll call it a 1 yard quarterback sneak for Kurt Bupp. And the Riders are on the board as they lead 20-19 with the point after touchdown coming. Kurt Bupp, who just scored that touchdown, will now hold. Henry Spencer will try the PAT. kick is up, and it is good. So with 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 21 and the Shawnee Indians 9. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this.
Varsity Lanes, home of the Rough Riders 2018-19 Boys and Girls State Bowling Champions. Striking up delicious food, 32 taps, Queen of Hearts, and nightly food and drink specials with a great family atmosphere. Carry out is available. Stop in and see us after the game. Go Riders!
21-9 on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. This kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend. Ensure your life. Bowers with the kick. Ball's loose on the field. Oh, mercy. Oh, what a hit by number 20 for the Rough Riders down on that play.
Wilson, the return man for the
Ross Henshin put the smackdown on Peyton Wilson. We're going to see it right here. Ball's dropped. Runs it down and boom. There's Ross Henshin in on the play. Good job by I believe he's just a sophomore. So the Shawnee Indians will set up shop, 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Barker under center. He'll turn, he'll give the ball to Robinson. Will Robinson will go right. He's trying to push forward. Good job by the Rough Riders defense. Blake Knorr's there.
Nothing doing for Shawnee on that first down carry.
Also, Trey Fisher was in on the tackle. We'll give him a gain of about 2. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. Barker in the shotgun position. He's got Robinson to his left in the wing position. Snap, he'll roll to his left. Barker looking downfield. He turns, pass is complete. Luke Cowan, first time I think we've seen him in the ball game.
That's a pretty accurate throw by Barker there, hitting number 10 in the middle of the field.
Lucas Walter and Ty Howell in on the stop for the Rough Riders. It's 1st and 10. The ball will be at the Shawnee 40-yard line. Barker back under center. He'll turn, he'll pitch it to Wilson. Wilson will sweep to the right. He's got a hole. Ball's loose on the field, and it's going to be recovered by the Rough Riders. And on the play, Peyton Wilson. Ball's loose. That's Brandon Paul. Brandon Paul.
Big play by the Rider defense. Coming out in the opening drive of the second half, scoring, and now getting this turnover in the midway through the third quarter. This is
good job. And we had a penalty on the play, but apparently irrelevant because they're picking it up. So the Rough Riders will have the football, 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Kurt Bupp. Kurt Bupp gives the ball to Kurt Bupp gives the ball to Aiden Hinkle, and he'll gain about 2. So we'll call it 2nd down and 8 for the Rough Riders. Riley Swigert brings the Riders out. He's the center. He'll turn a quick pitch. It'll go to Hinkle. Hinkle will dive forward. He'll gain a gain of 1. So we'll give him a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 6.
Riders sticking to their game plan, pounding that ball. That time a sweep. Not too much going on, trying to get to the outside on the right side here.
Football setting just over the Rough Rider 45-yard line. 3rd down and 6. Kurt Bupp under center. He'll turn. He'll give the ball to Ty Howell. Nowhere to go for Howell. Blake Knorr's trying to pull him along. Ain't going to work. He was swarmed in. We've got a Shawnee player getting up slowly. Shawnee player is Johnny Norris, hobbling off to the sideline. Brandon Bowers will be in to do the punting for the Rough Riders. High snap, he gets it down, and he shanks this one. And it'll roll out of bounds at about the Shawnee 35-yard line. Not a particularly good punt for the Rough Riders, so Shawnee will get the football in fairly decent field position.
So as it turns out, their turnover, no harm done.
Yep.
Except taking a little bit of time off the clock.
So the Shawnee Indians will set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. 5:10 remaining here on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Riders lead 21-9. Barker in the shotgun, calls the signals. He'll roll to his right. He's looking downfield. He's got a man open, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Ryan Hefner. Now keep in mind, Jim, the Shawnee Indians come into this ball game averaging 27.5 points per ball game and 390 total offensive yards per game. They're second in the Western Buckeye League, and the Rough Rider defense is doing a number on them tonight.
Yes, they are. Another pass defended by Tyler Howe out there. Buckeye second, or excuse me, Buckeyes. Sorry. St. Mary's defensive backs playing well again tonight.
2nd and 10 for Shawnee. Barker, quarterback draw. He's going to elude one tackle, but he's brought down by Dylan Troglin at the 40-yard line. Clock continues to run. 4:49 remaining, third quarter. 21-9 on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. There you see Barker pulling the ball down, and a good job there of run support by Dylan Troglin.
Another big third down.
Third down and 6. Ball at the 39-yard line of Shawnee. Robinson behind Barker. And we've got a timeout on the field called by the Shawnee Indians. It'll be their first. They'll have 2 remaining here in the second half. We'll take this break with the score.
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, Barker rolls to his right, and he's got a receiver wide open. Pass is complete on the far side to Jacob Voorhees. Tackle on the play by Carson Fischbach, and I believe we'll take a look on the replay, but I think Lucas Walter was out there as well.
Just another accurate throw by Barker, the quarterback, getting that first down. That was a big first down for Shawnee.
That was Tanner Howell out there with Carson Fischbach on the stop. Barker under center, quick pitch left to Robinson, and he'll go back up to the middle, and he'll gain about 7 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 3. Good gain by Robinson, the 5'9", 215-pound senior. Comes in averaging 6.6 yards per carry. Been pretty much held in check tonight by the St. Mary's Rough Riders. 2 receivers split wide to the right for the Indians. Lone setback behind Barker. Quick pitch, it goes to Peyton Wilson. Wilson on a cutback. He'll get to the 30-yard line. He'll have enough for the first down. Gain of about 7 yards for Wilson.
Yeah, once again, we're seeing Shawnee trying to get the ball into their playmakers' hands outside in space. And last couple plays here, it looks like they've seen something where they can cut back inside.
Well, you hit it right on the head, Jim, when you said they're playmakers. And that's Wilson and Voorhees and Barker. Those are the 3 guys that make this offense go for the Shawnee Indians. Got a man in motion for Shawnee. Barker's going to keep it himself. Rolls left, and he'll gain a couple. Tackle on the play by Tanner Howell and also by Trey Fisher. So it'll be second down. We'll call it a 1-4 for the Indians. They're in St. Mary's territory.
Three's in there.
So after turning the ball on their first drive in the third quarter, Shawnee Indians got a drive going here.
Barker under center. Robinson the lone setback. They'll pitch it to him, sweep to the right. He'll break a tackle, and he'll just pull it down to the 15-yard line. Where he's tackled by Trey Fisher, Tanner Howe. I'll tell you what, the Shawnee Indians and Blake Knorr decides to jump in on the pile as we looked at it on our replay. But speaking of Blake Knorr, they've done a pretty good job on keeping him in check.
Yes, they have. We haven't called his number a lot tonight.
Lone setback is Robinson to the left of Barker. We got a man in motion. That's Hefner. He'll give it to Robinson right up the middle. And he'll gain about 6 on the play. So we'll call it second down and a long 4 for the Shawnee Indians as they're knocking on the door. As they're inside the red zone, the ball setting at the St. Mary's 9-yard line. 1:36 remaining here in the third quarter, 21-9. Rough Riders. Barker calls the signals, turn, quick pitch, it goes to Peyton Wilson. Wilson run out of bounds. Give him a gain of about 3. And we'll give him a gain of about 1. So we'll call it third down and 3.
Blake Knorr there coming off his defensive end position on the edge there, forced that ball carrier to run out to the outside and only picked up 1 yard. Big third down here, Joe.
Absolutely. Riders can stop them here. It'll force them into a field goal situation. They could possibly, if they make it, come away with 3 instead of 7. Barker in the shotgun. Robinson to his right. Drops, rolls right. Looking into the end zone. Pass is dropped. Pass falls incomplete. It was intended for number 8 or number 9. That was Jacob Voorhees. I told you this earlier. I said, what makes it difficult for us are these single-digit numbers that tuck into their pants. So 6s look like 8s, 9s look like 6s.
But high-definition television helps us on the replay.
Yes, it does. This is fourth down and 3 for the Indians. This is a big, big play for the Rough Rider defense. Barker under center. Turns, pitches to Wilson. He's in big trouble, and the Rough Riders are going to stop him. Trey Fisher. Carson Fishbach, Tanner Howell. What a job by that sophomore. Comes up, runs support, and stops him. Trey Fisher was the first one to get to him.
Yeah, Fisher doing a great job shedding that block.
So the Rough Riders regain possession of the football with 1:10 remaining here in the third quarter. I want to remind everybody between the third and fourth quarter we'll have our second Big Ralph Rider radio replays, and it's going to be a classic. Hinkle, the ball carrier, still on the move, and he'll pick up big yardage for the Rough Riders. He'll get them out from out beneath the shadow of their own goalpost. Good run by Hinkle. It'll be first and 10 for the Rough Riders at their own 22-yard line. All right. How long was that? How long?
It was 110. Oh, the 16 or 14.
Hinkle on the carry again for the Rough Riders. His last run was a gain of 15 yards. So we'll give him a gain of 2. Just straight up the gut.
Straight up the gut. Rider offensive line continuing to get that push. Just get a sense, Joe. the big play, which the Riders have not had tonight, it's coming in their run game.
Riders going to let the clock run out. We're down to 8 seconds, 21-9 on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The St. Mary's Rough Riders 21, the Shawnee Indians 9. We'll take this break. We're going to hear our Big Ralph Rider replay brought to you by Quinaries on Spring Street, home of the signature calzone and Big Ralph sub. Come try their thirst-quenching Riderade before, during, and after the game. Post-game music every Friday night. Give them a call. Quinaries, 419-394-2247. And now, another Big Ralph Rider replay.
Oh, it's blocked it! It's blocked it! It's over! It's over! The Rough Riders win! Oh my! The Riders blocked it! The Riders blocked it!
Well, let me give you a little bit of history of that one. St. Mary's Rough Riders were playing the Shawnee Indians at Skip Bachman Stadium. Clock was winding down. Shawnee Indians had the football and it found it fourth down. They sent their punter back into the Rough Rider end zone to punt the football when all they really needed to do was take a knee and the game would have been over. But nonetheless, they went to punt the football and the Rough Riders blocked it in the end zone, recovered the football, won the football game. With that being said, if you watch the replay, you'll see that actual footage of that play because they found the footage that goes along with that call, and they'll be able to show that on the replay when you see it on Rider Nation Station. So that was a lot of fun. That made no sense whatsoever. All we did was the hooping and hollering and a lot of screaming. That was it, but it was pretty exciting. We're just underway here in the fourth and final quarter. Clock is running 11:40. Rough Riders have the football. They've gained 3 yards on the play. On the first play here to start the fourth and final quarter. Ethan Freewalt split wide to the right. Here comes Hinkle, and they're trying to strip the ball from him. Good job by the Shawnee defense standing him up at the line of scrimmage. He'll gain pretty much nothing on the play. So it'll bring up fourth down, and into punt the football will be
Shawnee Indians defense answers the call there. A must stop for them, and they got the Riders to be in a fourth down position where they need to
Brandon Bowers will punt the football standing about his own 13-yard line. Good snap. High end over end punt. It's caught and stopped by Voorhees. So he almost dropped the football but went down to the ground. So the Shawnee Indians will have the football at their own 42-yard line. No, I'm sorry, check that. They'll have it at their own 37-yard line. First and 10. Barker and company back on the field for the Shawnee Indians. Barker in the gun. Three-step drop, pulls the ball down, and he is stopped.
Yes.
Blake Knorr and Trace Mabry in on the stop.
Yeah, no time for Barker on that as he drops straight back. Rider defense smothering him.
Yep, loss of one on the play. It'll be second down and 11. The ball placed at the Shawnee 36-yard line. Barker in the shotgun, Robinson to his right. Looking to his left, founds Voorhees, makes the catch, and he's run out of bounds by Carson Fishbach.
Once again, another good play by team defense by the Riders, not letting their playmakers get out in space and doing a lot of damage.
We'll give him a gain of 6 on the play. Nice to see Fishbach running him out of bounds. Third down, and we'll call it a long 5 for the Shawnee Indians. Voorhees wide to the right. Barker calling signals in the shotgun formation. He'll roll to his right. He'll let it fly, finds Voorhees at the 45, and he's brought down at about the 43-yard line of the Riders by Wedding.
Game ball ticket is also a yellow ticket.
Nice throw to the middle of the field by Barker, finding his open man for a big third down completion.
So the Shawnee Indians will get a fresh set of downs. Barker will now go up under center. Gavin Looney calls the signal, sends a man in motion. That's Hefner. He'll turn, quick pitch, it goes to Wilson. Wilson will gain about 3 yards on the play. Tackled there by Brandon Paul in on the stop. Also Trey Fisher's out there on the stop.
Second down and 8. Paul and Fisher with the stop.
And Tanner Howell in on the stop. Tell you that young Tanner Howell, he has a nose for the football.
Yes, he does.
2 receivers wide to the right for Shawnee. Hefner in motion. Barker rolls to his right. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's going to let it go down the field, and it is picked off. Picked off by Carson Fishbach, and the Rough Riders will have the football. Good job by Carson Fishbach staying at home. Didn't go with the flow of the roll to the right and just stays at home on the throwback and steps in front of the pass, which is poorly underthrown. But nonetheless, the Rough Riders have a turnover, an interception by Fishbach, and the Rough Riders will have the football with 8:53 remaining here in the ball game. 21-9 on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. The Rough Riders will set up shop, 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Hinkle, the ball carrier. We'll give him a gain of about 4 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 6. Again, a whale of a job by the offensive line. They're just wearing this defensive front of the Shawnee Indians down.
Yeah, as we're getting into the middle of the 4th quarter, Joe. Offensive line doing a great job. Backs are running hard.
Here comes Ty Howell to the Rider side of the field. He leaps over a defender. Good job there. And he finally runs out. He runs out of bounds at the St. Mary's 44-yard line. Good enough for a Rough Rider first down, so we'll move the chains. Now, one of the things that I think the Riders will want to do, and I'm sure Doug Fry is going to tell them this, to try, if at all possible, to stay in bounds. Because the clock will become your ally here before too long.
Yeah, absolutely, and I no doubt Coach will be telling them that. And being a close game as it is, that's just good football.
Shawnee still has 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Rough Riders have all 3. Here comes Howell to the near side. And he cuts back. I'm not so sure he didn't step out of bounds, but he did not apparently. So he picks up a good gain.
Ty Howell getting some carries here in the 4th quarter.
I thought he stepped out of bounds. Here's another shot. Look at it.
Nope.
No, he did not. Come pretty close, but he stayed in bounds. Good gain by Ty Howell, the senior, for the Rough Riders. 1st and 10 for St. Mary's at the Shawnee 41-yard line. And Hinkle, the ball carrier. Man, oh man. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I think there's some freshman records being set here.
Well, unofficially, Joe, unofficially, I have him for 32 carries with 144 yards.
Wow.
Do they have whirlpools in the new athletic complex here?
They do. 2nd down and 3 for the Rough Riders. Give the ball to Hinkle. He jumps over a defender and gets the first down for St. Mary's. He's brought down at the Shawnee 30-yard line. So give him a gain of 9. Well, if the Rough Riders can continue to move this football and punch another score in, it'll make it awfully tough for the Shawnee Indians.
Yeah, it will be. You could see winding down this 4th quarter. Offensive line again doing a great job.
Hinkle, the carrier. He'll get it down inside the 25. They'll mark the ball right at the 25. So it'll be 2nd down and 5, a gain of 5 by Hinkle. There you see him, good offensive line surge. Give the young freshman another gain of 5. Call it 2nd down and 5. The ball's setting right on the Shawnee 25-yard line. Kurt Bupp gets the play from head coach Doug Fry, trots into the huddle, relays that information to his teammates. They'll come to the line of scrimmage, full house backfield, give the ball to Hinkle, and he'll pick up a gain of about 3 on the play. So we'll call it 3rd down and 2. Clock continues to wind. 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. 21-9 on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard.
St. Mary's offense really in command now. Running downhill, as they say.
Well, not only downhill, but they also got the wind to their back. And it has picked up a little bit here at the stadium. Hinkle off tackle. Just hard-nosed running. He'll pick up the 1st down, give him a gain of about 5 on the play. Another 1st down for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. And keep in mind, we've done this with 1 pass.
1 pass.
185-594.
It seems as though Doug's Fry philosophy for this game plan was to make a statement in the trenches.
Absolutely.
We talked about that at the beginning of the game, the consistency of the offensive line, and I'm sure the coaching staff's really pleased at this point. But it's not over yet. They got to finish this game.
Under 5 minutes remaining here in the contest. Full house backfield behind Bupp. Hinkle on the carry again, straight up the gut. We'll give him a gain of about 2. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. Just smash mouth football. That's pure and simple. That's what it is. Can your guys up front stop our guys up front? And right now, St. Mary's is winning the battle of the trenches. 4:20 remaining. Clock is moving. Ty Howell, sweep left. He's to the 10-yard line before he's run out of bounds. Clock is stopped with 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the football contest. We just heard over in the press box that the Kenton Wildcats lead the Wapak Redskins by a score of 13-10. Bupp under center. Calls the signals. Full house backfield. There's Hinkle. Just smash mouth football inside the 5-yard line. We'll give it another 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Rough Riders.
It's going to be 1st and goal for the Rough Riders from the 5-yard line. Say it again. 13-10, 3rd quarter. Yeah, 3rd quarter.
That Kenton score we just passed along is in the 3rd quarter. It'll be 1st down and goal at the 5-yard line of the Shawnee Indians. Just pure and simple, smash mouth football. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, if you will. Full house backfield behind Kurt Bupp. Kurt with his quarterback sneak will give him a couple on the play.
Riders are just saying line up, and we're going forward.
Absolutely. Nothing fancy. It'll be 2nd down. We'll call it 4 at the Shawnee 4-yard line. So 2nd and goal from the Shawnee 4. Clock is ticking. We'll be under 3 minutes when this one snapped. Full house backfield behind Bupp. Turn, give it to Hinkle. Touchdown, Aiden Hinkle from 4 yards away. The St. Mary's Rough Riders now lead the Shawnee Indians on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard by a score of 27-9.
Well, we've said it all night, Joe. The offensive line is playing great football. You getting pushes like that, you're going to be successful. That's what they've done tonight.
Point after attempt is up by Henry Spencer. It is good. So with 2 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the football contest, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28, the Shawnee Indians 9 on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll take this quick break. We'll come right back with more right after this.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
We welcome you back once again to Grand Lake Health System Field. Joe Herber alongside Jim Swigert. We hope you have enjoyed it here tonight on Rider Nation Station. The St. Mary's Rough Riders lead 28-9 with 2:52 remaining in the football contest. This kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent Laura Yelton via Legend. Insure your life. Brandon Bowers with the kickoff. This is going to go into the end zone. And the Shawnee Indians will set up shop at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he had a little wind at his back, but he nailed the ball anyways.
He did. So the Shawnee Indians will get the football 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing 28-9 with 2:52 remaining. Barker under center. He'll stand up, throws it, and his pass is complete. Pass is complete to Jacob Voorhees, I believe. We've got a flag on the play. Well, you called that one.
Yeah, that I saw that from here. You're going to see on the replay.
This was going to go against the Shawnee Indians. Tanner Howell. Oh, there's the
Yeah, just coming in
spear.
late and hitting a defensive player. And a great call by the back judge.
What was the penalty?
Personal foul against the Indians.
There you go. Personal foul on Shawnee. It'll be second down and 16. The ball will be placed at the Shawnee 14-yard line. Clock is winding and moving. It's 2:36 remaining in the contest. Barker sends Robinson in motion. He's going to swing it out to him with the pass. It's caught, complete, crosses the 20, to the 21, to the 22, and he's tackled there by the Rough Riders. Tanner Howell in on the tackle. Also in is the tackle is number 59 for the Rough Riders. That is Trace Mabry. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 for the Shawnee Indians. We'll be under 2 minutes when they snap the football.
Yeah, and really, Shawnee's not showing much urgency to get to the line and snap the football.
Barker in the shotgun formation. He'll roll to his left. He pulls it down. He's going to run. He's tackled there by number 56 for the Rough Rider defense. Trace Mabry on the stop.
Maybe 23, 22.
Presents a 4th down and 8 for the Indians.
Yeah, that's
Mabry and Knorr in on the stop.
a handful of sacks or tackles for loss tonight.
John Barker will do the punting for the Shawnee Indians, and this one there's the punt. They're going to let it. They're going to let it bounce, and it takes a Rough Rider bounce, and it's stopped at the ball's marked dead at the St. Mary's 39-yard line, and that's pretty much going to do it. The Shawnee Indians have 2 timeouts remaining. The St. Mary's Rough Riders have all 3 timeouts remaining. And I think the Riders you'll see line up in possibly the victory formation, you think, or maybe not? with
think
2
so.
timeouts?
I think so. We'll see here. Bub got instructions from Coach Fry, and
55 seconds remaining on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. 28-9 Rough Riders lead. They are in the victory formation. Kurt Bupp take a knee, and the clock will wind down.
Nope, 2 weeks in a row, the Riders have been able to finish the game in that victory formation.
I want to remind our listeners that we will not be on the air next week, as the St. Mary's Rough Riders will be on the road at Kenton. But we'll be back the following 2 weeks on October 11th for the homecoming game with the Elida Bulldogs, and the following week, October 18th, with the Hall of Fame game with the Bath Wildcats. That's going to do it. The clock will run down. The St. Mary's Rough Riders win this one 28-9 over the Shawnee Indians. So with the win, the Shawnee Indians will drop to 2-2 in the Western Buckeye League, 4-2 overall. The St. Mary's Rough Riders will go to 2-2 in the Western Buckeye League, 3-2 overall. We're going to take this break. When we come back, we're going to have our post-game show here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. We'll do that and more when we come back right after this. Albert Sporting Goods, located in downtown St. Mary's, takes pride in serving retail and team customers throughout the area and the state of Ohio. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. Our on-site services include embroidery, screen printing, digitizing, and graphic design. For all your sporting good needs, stop in at Albert Sporting Goods, 121 West Spring Street in St. Mary's.
Here to help make life go right is your local Good Neighbor State Farm agent, Laura Yelton, with 30 years experience. Visit Laura and her team located in downtown St. Mary's for your auto, home, banking, and life insurance needs. Be a legend. Insure your life.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Have you heard about TSC's referral program? Refer your friends and family and you both get a credit matching the services they chose. That's right, we'll credit your invoice. There's no limit to the number of friends you can refer. So come back to your local hometown provider and bring your friends and family with you. We'll reward you both.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Welcome back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field at the Rough Rider Athletic Complex. I'm Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert, where the Rough Riders defeat the Shawnee Indians by a score of 28-9. Recapping the scoring in the ball game, in the first quarter, Aiden Hinkle at the 3:01 mark scored from 1 yard out to make the score 6-0. The point after touchdown was good, and at the end of the first quarter, the St. Mary's Rough Riders led the Shawnee Indians by a score of 7-0. In the second quarter, with 7:21 remaining in the second quarter, Voorhees took a pass from Barker and scored, and that made the score 7-6 in favor of the St. Mary's Rough Riders. The point after touchdown was no good, and the Rough Riders led by a score of 7-6. With 1:40 remaining in the second quarter, Aiden Hinkle took it into the end zone from 3 yards out to make the score 13-6. The point after touchdown by Henry Spencer was good, and the Rough Riders led 14-9. And then with 1 second remaining on the clock in the first half, Jacob Voorhees kicked a 22-yard field goal, and the first half ended 14-9 in favor of the St. Mary's Rough Riders. In the third quarter, the Rough Riders got the football to start the second quarter, and with 8:10 remaining in the third quarter, Kurt Bupp took it from 1 yard out for a score, making the score 20-9 in favor of the Riders. Henry Spencer's point after was good, and the score was 21-9. In the fourth quarter, with 2:52 remaining from 4 yards out. Aiden Hinkle scored on a touchdown to make it 27-9. The PAT was good by Henry Spencer, and that's the way the game ended, by a score of 28-9. We're going to take this quick break, hear from our friends at Hewer Renovating, and then we'll come back with the statistics right after this.
If you are looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
All righty, we welcome you back once again to Grand Lake Health System Field. Joe Hurlbut alongside Jim Swigert, where the Rough Riders defeat the Shawnee Indians by a score of 28-9. And here with the statistics of the first half, once again, here's Jim.
Well, Joe, the time of possession for tonight's game was totally in St. Mary's Rough Rider favor. 29 minutes, 33 seconds to 18 minutes, 27 seconds for the Shawnee Indians. First down, St. Mary's had 21, Shawnee had 14. Passing for St. Mary's, Kurt Buck, 1 for 1 for 20 yards, a big-time completion. And the young man for John Barker, he was 16 for 27, 1 touchdown and 1 interception for 176 yards. On the rushing attack, Shawnee had 23 rushes for 88 yards. St. Mary's had 67 rushes for 287 yards, and they were led by the freshman, the 6', 190-pounder, Aiden Hinkle, 39 rushes, 171 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Chai Howe chipped in with 12 carries for 69 yards. Ethan Wedding, 7 rushes for 37 yards. Kirk Buck, 7 rushes for 12 yards. So the Riders, 307 total yards tonight, and taking up much of the second half time with them. And again, just hats off to the offensive the backs, the quarterback, and especially the offensive line. They paved the way tonight.
Well, Coach Fry, when I talked to him during the Doug Fry show, he said last week they seemed to play 3 quarters of football. They were looking to put 4 quarters of football together. I'm interested to see and talk to him next week if that's the case tonight. I think they put 4 quarters of solid football together. They hung on to the football. The young freshman did an outstanding job carrying the football. I don't think they turned the football over and controlled the football game from really start to finish. I want to remind everybody to watch Rider Nation Station for our replay, and you just subscribe on the Rider Nation Station after you go to the route on it's our YouTube channel. Just subscribe, and you'll get notification as to when the airing of not only this ball game is, but you'll also get notifications of the Doug Fry Show and also of rules of the game. You can also watch this replay of this 2019-2020 St. Mary's Rough Rider High School season on TSC TV channel 702 and 13.1, and this game against the Indians will air starting Monday at 10 a.m. Again, our next broadcast will be here October 11th when the Elida Bulldogs come to the Grand Lake Health System Field, and then we'll be here the following week as the Bath Wildcats come in for the Hall of Fame game on October 18th. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel or like us on Facebook and watch our vodcasts, Rough Rider Sports broadcasts, and the such. Well, partner, it was enjoyable.
Very enjoyable. Great night for football. We had that delay, but nevertheless, we had a lot of fun tonight. We're seeing really a Rider football team come together. They played another close game tonight. They'll probably have another close game next week, but you're starting to see this team come together.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure working for you for these 2 ball games that we've done, and enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, and a
Absolutely.
lot of fun for sure.
Brought a lot of insight to the game, especially from your perspective as an official. So we appreciate that, and thanks again for joining us. Once again, our final score from the Grand Lake Health Systems Field. The St. Mary's Rough Riders defeat the Shawnee Indians by a score of 28-9. For our entire Rider Nation Station crew, for Jim Swigert, I'm Joe Hurlbut. We hope you enjoyed the contest. We'll see you in a couple of weeks with more Rough Rider football right here on Rider Nation Station. So long, everyone.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.